Sometimes I just get this feeling on Wednesday evenings, and it feels, you know,
Just like candy.
even when you talk, it takes over me.
I promise you that there was no cocaine done in the production of this intro, guys, because we know that that's exactly what
No,
Cameo was talking about. But it doesn't
this is a
change the
cocaine
content
song.
of the record, though, right? You
This is
said
a
who?
cocaine song. This is a cocaine song.
I don't know the way that it sounds. I've always thought that. I could be wrong though.
You know, we're not gonna do this, but I honestly wish America was ready for an honest conversation about cocaine.
What do you think that honest conversation looks like and would be centered around?
How recreational and common cocaine use is amongst all demographics in this country.
Okay.
I mean, because the black community is, oh nigga, you fuck your nose up. It's like I know some some highly functional people who use coke regularly. I also know some low functioning cokeheads. Just like I know some high functioning drunks and low functioning drunks. I know some high functioning potheads and low functioning potheads. When we start talking about the big three in substances, it's like booze, dope, you know, yeah, nicotine too. Yeah, nicotine, obviously. And then Coke, right? And the Mount Rushmore. Let's go for
Well,
it, right?
my thing would be it's kind of like is sin, right? When it comes to when people talk about somebody's sin versus another sin, but if it's
You're
sin.
exactly.
It's the same thing with drugs and anything else. It's like, well, vice is vice. It doesn't even have to be drugs, but vice is vice. Some people are addicted to porn. They can look at that as a drug. You can look um, at being addicted to sugar. There's some people that eat a lot of sugar, food. I mean, there are so many different ways that you can break this stuff down. And I guess it just depends what avenue you want to take it. But I agree that a conversation around Coke would probably
And and really, probably, Pete, it's not about cocaine within itself. It's about all of these other outside factors for judgment that we place on people
mhm.
that don't paint an accurate picture, right? Like we allow certain outside things that carry way more weight than it has in the evaluation of a human being, right? So that's more so what it's about. So I say, like, hey, let's not call people dope heads because they use certain drugs. Let's call them dope heads because they've allowed the dope to consume their life and they're incapable of utilizing a substance or a vice and still being a high functioning member of society, or not even high functioning, a functioning member of society. And it could be dope, it could be lies, it could be womanizing, it could be drinking, it could be gambling. You know what
It
I
could be
mean? Like,
DV.
yeah, well, DV is different. DV is always
Well, I'm just
wrong.
saying there are some people that get
Well, you know what?
say
Honestly, there's a
misogynist, then maybe.
well, no, 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 no. Honestly, there's a real conversation around DV that can't be had because people are afraid to have it because it will make them appear that they are okay with DV. But it's like, hey, I can separate it and say, hey, if two people who came from end up together and they're domestically violent and they stay together, and you know what, they keep that shit in house and they still love each other and they want to be together. As much as it's not my cup of tea and I have an issue with it, as a guy with a failed marriage, who am I to tell them they're wrong? I just think as a society, we get too caught up in telling people how they have to live in situations that don't really affect them.
I would
Like,
agree.
so just being real, I'm against DV. And if you know me personally and you've talked to me about domestic violence, you kind of know where I stand and you know how, you know me. I'll just leave it at that. But if it's a couple with no kids, and these motherfuckers go to work every morning and they fight when they get home, and then they go to work every morning, they fight when they get home, and they're the only two people being affected by it. Again, the kids' things matter. If that's what the hell they do, it doesn't affect you or me. It doesn't.
Right.
Now, does it affect family members? It affects them as much as they allow it, because you have some families who say, well, maybe you should shut up. Other families be like, oh, you should leave. Other families be like, hey, it's your life. You're going to do what you're going to do. I have my feelings, but my feelings don't matter because I'm not in your shoes. I don't think anybody is wrong in their approach.
Me neither, but I guess it gets to the bigger issue here. Somebody also in the comments just said, how high are you right now, AC? But shout out to you for listening, Sing Koi 5102. We do appreciate, honestly, the viewership. It helps grow the channel. And again, we're just a couple of regular Joes here, but they did want to know, how high are you? You do look like you could be a little more raised, but
no, not at all.
I know you're not, but like, you know, and we are talking about like drugs and shit.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about some risky stuff. Now, mind you, I disagree with domestic violence. I disagree with people allowing domestic violence. We got to put that out there. That should be understood.
Has a channel like Vice ever done something where you're able to, like, can you imagine if we did a control group here, right? Let's say I put out a fat fucking line and I just did it here on live, and then you were sitting there just taking shots like every other second. And we're like, okay, we get a drunk host and then a coked out host. And it's like an experiment in itself, but we're doing what we normally do. We're talking about the conversation, and it's like, does it affect us? Like, and Vice would seem like the perfect group that would do it, because they seem like they get into that type of field. But has anyone ever done that, even just like freelance? Like,
I don't know, but the question would be not does it affect us, but how much does it affect us? And you'd like to have controlled conversations, right? Because now we're getting into like some of the nerdyisms, because unlike a lot of Black people in media, we come from academia first, so that's how we try to frame things. But you have some of these same conversations without devices, and then you have a person on the device having a conversation, then a person not on the device having a you know what I mean? Like, you can have your controls and your different variables, and then really see how much it affects them. And if you could get some type of range of how often they consume said said vice, to then determine their functionality. Because again, if you're somebody who uses mind-altering vices, you understand that, hey, like the legal limit for alcohol is like this general number that kind of works. Okay, who I don't even know who this guy is.
That's who said, how high are you right now? But they were saying that was Cat.
Yeah, I know. Good. Yeah,
but he's listening to us, so we do appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, it's not Cap. Yeah, it's not Cap, man. I don't
come saying that you're high, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But
he can say whatever he wants. He doesn't know.
And then Greg Evans Expensive Taste Barber also said hi. So hi, Greg.
Hello. But hey, Parlay Pete, man, how are you doing?
We're doing good, Lee. We are.
Hold on. Did we close that properly?
Not really, but it's okay. We can still transition. We honestly can go back. It's still open. Pandora's box is still open.
Hey, don't beat your wife. And life affects everybody differently based on their experiences.
Well, if you do drugs, let's try not to do them. In general, there's a reason why you're not supposed to do them. That's why they're illegal. Or even the legal stuff like alcohol, you're never supposed to overindulge. If you're somebody that believes in the Bible, it doesn't teach against drinking. It teaches against drunkenness. Basically, let's try not to do that. I don't know. But,
well, does legality mean morality?
Yeah.
That's a high.
Does legality give more?
Does legality mean morality? It
doesn't. No, but we know that. We know that already.
But hey, how you doing, dog?
I'm doing pretty good. We got a listener that the same person that sat here that said it was Cap that you were high. He said, "Can I give a question?" Go for it.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
put it
yeah.
up,
Go
we'll
ahead.
get to it once you get to it. But just go ahead and ask. But Lee, I'm doing fantastic. Obviously, this weekend we had my daughter's 6th birthday, so that's always really exciting. Somebody turning 6, yeah, big 6, and so 666. But yeah, it went pretty well. I had to bend my ass over in order to get the cake that I needed to get for her because it was almost impossible to find a K-pop cake. And that seems to be the new rage with that age group. It's not Mickey Mouse, it's not Bluey, it's not anything that you can name. It is, K-pop. So I had to find that K-pop cake.
And you
But it
found
went
it.
well.
Yes, you
Everything,
did.
and I was surprised. There were so many people that showed up. And I am thankful for the village that is beginning to be formed at her school. Honestly, it was about 20 something kids that showed up. Shout
Oh,
outs
that's
to,
beautiful.
yeah, man. I was surprised. I wish that we could have got the RSVP so I could know how many, because the cake, it ended up serving everybody, but like I just couldn't get everything that I needed. Also, shout outs to all the parents that did come through. I got to meet a lot of their parents. We had
Yeah.
a former Nickelodeon star that showed up. I'm sure you know who that is, maybe.
No, I don't. Who?
Oh, okay. Well, he was on, what's the show with Britney Spears' sister?
Zoe 101, maybe?
He was the only nigga on the show, so you should know who that was. But I know him. I don't know him like that, but obviously he is friends with one of Couture's. They have children together. Well, I forget his name, honestly. His name's Chris, is his name. But Massey is his name because his brother was on That So Raven. They were both
Oh,
child.
okay. Yeah, okay. His brother is the fake Crip in LA.
Correct. And so he was there. Honestly, dapped him up. I hadn't seen him since we were at the club that night. But
Club what night?
I was at Tongue and Grooves the night I got drugged. Speaking of
Okay.
drugs, yeah, his section was right next to mine that night. It was during the NBA All-Star weekend here in Atlanta. But yeah,
Okay,
that was the weekend.
I was just making sure it wasn't a night that we were at Tongue and Groove and I missed something.
No. It wasn't that night. That was the first time I had been since that night, though. That was the thing. And so,
apparently I did miss some things that night.
Yeah. But how about you, Harry? Yeah. How are you? And he's got his question ready. We can get to you first or the question after you.
Hey, I'll tell you how I am, man. I'm good, dog. Just happy to be alive with a smile on my face, man. I get those two things every day. Everything else is a bonus, and if I get life, that means I get a smile. Let's get to a question from
Sing Koi 5102, which is more dangerous, being high. Huh?
I said make sure you subscribe too.
Oh yeah, please subscribe, anyone that's watching this. But we're gonna go ahead and do this. Which is more dangerous, being high as fuck with weed or be drunk as fuck with alcohol? Because weed is illegal in some states, but alcohol ain't for all. Then he had a follow up that said, following that up, should they treat the same legality with alcohol as with weed? So
yes,
I think we all agree that weed should just be legal anyways. But as far as alcohol goes, which is more dangerous, I think that we've seen more DUI, like fatal car accidents, right? But now it's hard to quantify it because that brings in a second statistic that doesn't have anything to do with it. Most people in America, die of car accidents. Like more people die of car accidents than anything. Now, all car accidents are not alcohol, DUI or alcohol-like-induced accidents though, right?
Yo, you've been drunk as hell and you've been high as hell before. Which one are you a least functioning human being?
Weed.
Boozed up.
I am least functioning on weed because I'm ready to go to sleep. That's the thing with weed for me. Some people are they're mellow, but they're up. Like for me, it puts me to sleep. So like it doesn't matter if it's sativa or indica. Like I go to sleep one way or another. So I think it's like anything else. It's just different with people, depending on who you are. Some people get so drunk that they're gonna fall asleep too, like a Josh Olsey. Like Josh Olsey, what does he do when he gets drunk? He goes to sleep. I am not somebody that goes to sleep when I'm drunk.
No, he gets kicked first. He gets kicked out of the bar, then he goes to sleep.
But this is what I'm saying. I don't go to sleep when I'm like drinking. So, but when I have weed in my system, I would say it's more likely that I would fall asleep behind the wheel if I've had weed in my system. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm more impaired or less impaired, because maybe I'm more impaired when I'm drunk, right? Like you could be more impaired driving, but like I am more likely to go to sleep on smoking weed or doing a dab or fucking anything, hitting the bunk, like any of that will more likely put me to sleep as opposed to.
I'm gonna tell you, at our ripe old age, if you're still hitting the bong, we got some problems. But I got spidey senses when in high school.
No, when I'm high. But he teleports when he's drunk, so I get it depends how it hits people. Exactly. It kind of just depends. I think it depends on the person.
It depends on the person, and I think a more focused question would be for avid users of both. What you know what I mean? Which impairs you more or whatever? And
if there's somebody that's balanced enough with it, because most people think about it, there are some people that don't drink at all that will smoke. Then there's people like me that I guess I will smoke, but I don't smoke. Like I don't buy weed. Like I don't smoke at all. I will smoke, but I don't smoke.
Parlay Pete, do you think I'm a good person to answer this question?
Yes. I don't know if you're 50-50 though.
I'm about as close as you can get.
I think that you can smoke and not drink.
Oh, absolutely. I can drink and not smoke too, though.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like at least the last few times we've gone out, it's been more of I've got some weed on me. And you
hey, we're on a podcast, man.
We'll be okay. Hopefully the AI doesn't cut it up. If not, you can delete it.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm not. I mean,
if you don't want this to be out there, you can delete it.
Hey, you are being recorded right now. This will be clipped up and put on social media. Damn, I gotta follow my own sword.
You should get that to start to have this as a viewer's discretion. that whole 9. Yeah. You should. You really should.
But hey, you know what? I might. But on a serious note, yeah, I lean more to the bud than I do to the booze. Which, for people who don't know me very well, that probably would shock them.
It would. I'm sure it would. It would absolutely shock people.
DUI is DUI influence whichever always. My homie still believes you just hit some before the man.
He's saying you're high. That's what he's saying. I'm assuming that this is a he. I mean, I can see the picture, but I'm assuming this is a guy. But
hey, shout out to you and your homie, man. Relax.
Yeah.
Start calling him Vlad.
Yeah, right.
hey, speaking of Vlad, dog, I was on in my YouTube algorithm, and apparently Big Ack has popped back into the algorithm, right? And Ack was breaking down an interview that Vlad did. Vlad interviewed the broad. Oh, bro, I'm already hip, big dog.
Yeah, hey, he's on. Look, you got it on the same page.
Hey, man, real recognize real. Shout out. But nah, Vlad interviewed the chick that New York rapper that everybody cares about that we don't care about that just came home. Max B.
Oh, all right. I was wondering, but that's why I don't care. That's I'm like.
Yeah, right.
I know about Max B. Yeah.
But anyways, he was interviewing the broad that did the setup on that robbery, and I'm like, And it made me just think about the gravity of being from New York or being New York based and getting some buzz. And because New York was, I mean, it's still the media capital of the country, how much local New York stuff gets projected nationally and can still do well nationally, while
Yeah.
most people don't give a damn about New York shit. Like, I'm a fan of the Joe Budden podcast. They talk so much New York bullshit up there. I've become aware of it. And then I'd be sitting back thinking, yo, who gives a fuck about French Montana and Max B?
No, I agree with you. I mean, again, this isn't Young Thug coming home. This isn't any nigga that really had some hits. And that's no offense to Max B. Max B got a big shout out on. I knew who Max B was prior to this, but obviously he's on the jail called the Silver Surfer interlude on The Life of Pablo, right? Yeah. And because then he had Waves, the song, and like Kanye's like giving a shout, like, yeah, like Waves, like I know that's the wave. Wiz Khalifa did it. Obviously, French Montana, of course, being affiliated with him. I don't think, like, I don't know. Nobody cared, like, just because, I mean, who gives a fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't Puff, right? Like, Puff's not home. Nobody gets to hear, like these are the people. He's an underground rapper from New York that never had a hit. I can't name a Max B song. It doesn't mean that he's not influential. It doesn't mean that he's not that nigga, but he wasn't no Gucci Man coming home. And I know that he did more time than all the people I'm naming. Like, you remember when Boosie was in jail? Like, the Boosie thing was real even here.
Well, Boosie was facing life.
I know, but I'm just saying the free Boosie, everything about free Boosie when we were in high school, that was like a big fucking deal. Hey. Like they made it out to be a bigger deal.
You know who shot his first video when he came home?
Marv.
Hell yeah. Shout out to my nigga Marv.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, how often do you get to say a guess what question and then the nigga's right? Because normally you ask it not thinking that they'll say, I don't know who, or they'll give the wrong answer, but then the nigga just nails the question.
I was hoping you were going to play dumb for the audience, honestly.
No, I couldn't, because I was like, well, I mean, who else did you know that Shoots has shot some music videos?
Right, but hey, we talking about New York stuff, and you brought up Diddy. We might as well talk about the documentary, because I'm telling you, I don't want to talk about that team first.
Absolutely.
Oh, my man Filipino, hey, I fought with the Lumpia and the Poncet. One of my homies is Filipino, and they be throwing parties, and it's always great Filipino food. They send you home with freezer bags full of food you can eat for a week and a half off that shit. Always slapping. Shout out to the Filipino family. I got real love for Filipinos, man. Like, for real.
Yeah, I know this is completely unrelated, but yeah, I'll give a quick shout out too. There's some Filipinos that work at this place out in the mountain. Now they own it though. They own it. Now, granted, it's a hibachi spot, but super duper cool people. Hey. Yeah.
But yeah, hey man. So the Diddy doc that was executive produced by 50 Cent came out on Netflix last week. Both of us hadn't gotten through it before last week's show because it came out the day before the show, and niggas have jobs, lives, and kids. But a week's passed. Parlay Pete, did you get time to watch the Diddy doc?
I honestly haven't. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just.
Oh my god!
I haven't.
You've been in bad mode.
But you know, look, I've got social media and I've seen everything that is talked about, and we know a lot about the story. I don't know about the ins and outs of the recordings that he's suing 50 over now, in terms of the stuff that was being shot up until he was arrested. Like, I don't know nothing about that, but I know one of the talking points that they brought up was him and Faith Evans on I guess it was the MTV Awards or the Grammys. I think it was the Grammys, because they had Sting doing it too. I'm assuming that was the Grammys. And they, Diddy, they show this nigga dancing in his white suit to every step, it's not Every Step I Take. That's not the name of the song, but that's not the name of the song.
It's Missing You.
I Miss You. It's I Miss You.
I Miss You, yeah.
Yeah. And point being, I saw that. I know that was a talking point because people were like, "Wow, he like forced Faith to like do this," you know. You know, but that's about it. I mean, what was it that you wanted to speak more in depth about it though?
So honestly, you didn't have to watch it to talk about what I want to talk about, because I think they did a great job of giving you the different layers of his personality, right? They showed the hustle, they showed the grind, they showed the creep, they showed the freak, they showed the person who's power hungry. They showed how he shifted from square to party nigga. He used to not do drugs and drink, and then he started. You know what I mean? Like once he became, when it's like when he became Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Or when he became Puff Daddy. I don't know, but like he made a transition into becoming a different person when he became a mogul. And if you're somebody who's studied history and people and watched their rise to power, it makes a lot of sense. If you paid attention to how he acted, how he acts, he's a product of his environment. You know what I mean? Like,
aren't they all for the most part though?
Huh?
Aren't they all for the most part though?
Yes. Yeah. So for me, although it revealed some nasty stuff, it humanized him a little bit for me, because it again, no new information, but a great compilation of a lot of information that we have. Well, no new major information, right? But it compiled a lot of the information that we care about. And see, yes, I was gonna take it there. I was gonna get there. Yeah. Diddy's Kanye talked about new slaves, bro. Like that's what a lot of these niggas are, new slaves, bro. Like super rich slaves. But hold on, let me clarify this just in case it gets clipped. When I talk about new slaves, it is the idea of you not truly being in control of your life and your opportunities. Like all of us are slaves to something. Like I like, you know what I mean? If you on the rat wheel 9 to 5 and build a bill, you're a slave to your job. But same thing with these rich people, bro. Like they get the life, they get the status,
it's on
they get
a higher
the money.
Level.
Yeah, they have to maintain it because they're not actually in control of what they do. But anyways, my biggest takeaway from it is Diddy was like pretty much any other powerful person. You got some childhood trauma. You're not as cool as you thought you were, as you wanted to be. So you started doing the cool shit. Then you figured out that the cool niggas ain't the wisest, ain't the smartest. They just cool. And you learned how to take what they do that's cool and mass produce it. Yeah, and that too, and mass produce it, and then you become cool because you get to create cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same shit. Like how Drake acts like a gangster, but Drake ain't really a gangster, but he got people around him that protect him so he can do gangster shit. Same thing with Diddy, and then he just becomes the cool guy, and he gets sick and drunk with power, and then you throw in his odd childhood trauma and some of the people who are around him and the stuff that they did in business and what he was taught, and you get this monster. Honestly, it all makes sense. But the funny part about it is niggas like Gene Deal, because the money wasn't right.
I think you wanted to talk about Gene. Now, what is he in it?
No,
I assume so. No, you just look at his Art of Dialogue or Vlad interviews.
Oh yeah, Art of Dialogue, because he was on Art of Dialogue the next day, because he had to let him know that the money wasn't right.
But that's how he gets paid. That's okay though. Like I'm not mad at him. Like it's kind of like the nigga that used to record everything for Rockefeller. You know what I'm talking about? It's this dude. He be doing shit too. He be talking about Jay all the time. But
yeah, so Gene Deal just be talking, and that shit is funny. But so many different conversations about this, right? Did you see the street guys mad at 50 for participating in this because they feel like that's rat behavior?
Who are the street guys?
I think Ja Rule started the conversation, and then Dame Dash, he had some input.
Oh, you're saying street guys in rap, not just like street niggas.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I didn't.
Dame Dash,
I didn't see
Ja
any
Rule.
of it, but I just didn't know who you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about the niggas I work with at the warehouse.
No. I mean, I figured, but I'm just saying, man, Smack DVD used to be real. I didn't know if they made a comeback, and it was like Gilly out in Philly with like a bunch of niggas talking about Wayne and how he don't write his lyrics, like in 05. I didn't know if they were bringing that back.
You think I'd watch that?
I don't know. I'm not saying that I think you would. What I'm saying is I didn't know who you were talking about. Gilly was outside in Philly with goons talking about and this is 05. These, like I said, Smack DVD. And he was talking about how
no more problems. I'm the problem solver.
Yeah, he's saying the New Orleans, them niggas, he's like, man, I was writing Wayne's lyrics. And he's like, Wayne's hot now. But he's like, I'm the one that made him hot.
He's dead and gone. No more problems. I'm the problem solver. What happened to Wayne after 05?
He became a much bigger
I think he
star.
got better.
And his rap, that was the peak of Lil Wayne. I mean, so 05 to like, I'd say like 12. I mean, his prime they would say 05 to 09 is his prime. But I'm saying 05, he didn't start to lose to me sizzle until 12. Is when it started to go down. Really 13.
Yeah. Parlay P.
Yeah.
Does it matter if Gilly was telling the truth if the nigga gets better when you're gone? Even if he's telling the truth, does it really matter?
No, it doesn't, because if he's making dollars, it makes sense, right? Like it just makes
sense. And how long did it take Gilly to get back? What, 2020, 2019?
It took
when Wallow came home?
It took Gil a minute to get back to the position in which he was trying to be at. And look, it worked out in the end for everybody. That's what we call a win-win trade. Something similar to the James Pierce for the Rams pick. Like,
hey, didn't Jay-Z say if you made Hov make another one?
Yeah.
Okay. So
he heard motherfuckers say they made Hov, and he said, okay, so make another Hov.
Yeah. So you picking up what I'm putting down, but back to this whole thing is my biggest takeaways. Well, you had the street conversation about 50 Rat, and I think that's an interesting conversation because he quote unquote comes from the street, but now he's
he's corporate.
He's corporate. So when do you shed that? Do you shed it? Should you shed it? I know your answer on that. But then also, off of that ratting part, at what point does the black community apply? And again, I'm not saying other communities don't. I'm only speaking to the black community because that's a community that I'm in, and I'm comfortable speaking on it. At what point? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, sorry. At what point do we start giving the criminal, the bad actor, more attention than the snitch? Because I'm not into snitch culture unless your freedom is affected by it. That's one thing. I also don't think somebody compiling stuff that's public knowledge, that's like public record. Damn near everything that was in that documentary is public record or has already been publicized. I don't call that snitch behavior. But like, I also don't believe in just telling on somebody when it has nothing to do with you. If you are unaffected by something, why are you talking about it? It's none of your business. Now, if you're affected by something, do what you need to do. It's best for you. And if you're involved, I would think that you would be accountable for your actions.
Correct.
But again, my bigger question is, why does our community point a bigger finger at the snitch than the offender? And how can we get out of that? Like, how can we start holding niggas accountable for fucking up and really just get out of this street mindset? Because, the streets are pretty much defined by poverty, death, and prison.
Correct.
So if niggas grow up in the streets trying to get out of the streets, why would we then project to the mainstream that people should follow the street code when the whole goal is to get out of the streets? Like, the streets isn't a good place to be, whether it's gangster hustling streets or even if you're a man. You get to a certain point in your life, well, it's time to get out the streets and get you get you an old lady. You know what I mean?
Legit. Yeah.
So those are the things I want to put out there and let you respond to it and see where that conversation takes us.
I just think that all in all, everybody can look at a guy like 50 and say to themselves, like, now it's deeper with him too, to a degree. And I know that he did the interview. Was it Robin Roberts or who did he do it with? It wasn't Gail. Who was it?
Yeah, I think it was Robin Roberts, Gail King, same boss.
Yeah. One's ABC, one's CBS, right? Like, that's really
black lady
there.
Black lady on TV.
Yeah, I'll say this. Robin Roberts, at least she kind of got her bones at ESPN beforehand. But, like, then, Gail.
Gail jumped.
Gail's just
Gail jumped
friend, bro, and that's how she got. She jumped about it. Like, she put her best friend.
No.
Mad. Like,
hey, let me get this joke off. Gail just jumped Oprah's bones.
Yeah. So
that's a joke.
Yes. And so, but no, all in all, street culture is, I mean, Jay said it himself. He said streets is done. It's like, George Zimmerman walked, but somehow, some way, it's like, he's like, I don't understand. Streets are done. But because it's kind of true. It's just like, so we're out here like killing anybody. There's no nigga that is willing to sacrifice his for the greater good of a community, but they'll sacrifice it over getting shorted a fifth. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, slide for Vaughn, a criminal who signed up for the street life, but don't slide for Trayvon. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And so, to me,
shout out to Charleston White.
That shit gets thrown out one way or another on my end. And I'm not a street dude, never been in the streets. But what I do know, I can say I've certainly come in contact with some street people. I mean, obviously, like many others, not to incriminate myself because it doesn't really matter. I have once upon a time in my life known people that do things illegal. And so it's like, well, even with those dudes, they're normally good dudes anyways, but like, money is the root of it all at the end of the day, because that's why anyone's doing it. Nobody's doing it to say I'm the baddest nigga on the planet. Nobody's trying to be Mike Tyson of the streets. Like,
maybe the YNs, maybe the YNs, because they ain't really trying to get money. They just,
I don't go outside enough to see them as much, but I know that they exist. I see their banter online because I feel like that's kind of what drives the YN's behavior, anyways. Is, man, when this shit gonna get on social media, bro, it's gonna blow. Like, it's the wrong way of going about things. Like, especially them dudes in Jacksonville, that shit that was going on down there at one point. That's kind of old. Those are like OG YNs. That was like 5-6 years ago.
No, hell no. It's like
no. I'm saying maybe the Fulio nigga died recently, but I'm saying in terms of when that stuff was starting, Jew was still living in Julian.
Oh yeah.
Was still living in Jacksonville at the time. I used to ask him about it. I'd be like, man, what the fuck's going on down here?
And he was outside. He was outside around all that shit because I know him.
Yeah, and so, I think that it's just it's street behavior can be treated as such by whomever cares for it. But I don't have.
Hey, quick question. It's a total aside. Do you think that somebody could greenlight a podcast called Jew and a Jew? And it's Julian Turner and a Jewish person who have a good relationship with each other, but can have honest conversations with each other about life. And really,
it only has to be 30 minutes too.
Well, it can't be longer because it won't get ad dollars.
Well, but they could just go for 30 and like it literally be a sparring match on topics. Whatever it is that and they could go 3 rounds. It could be 3 different topics, 10, 10, 10. However you want to do it. I think it will work because he's a very he's a very strong-headed person in terms of what it is that he believes. So like,
and guys, Julian is not anti-Semitic by no means.
No. That's not what we're saying. Right.
We're
yes,
like, I'm
for
just
that
saying,
disclaimer, Lee. Yeah.
yeah. Because I called the show Jew and a Jew, and we're saying why it would work.
Well,
we're
his
just
nickname's
saying
Jew,
that,
and then it's just a Jew. But
yeah,
the joke of
it's
it
more
would be
so,
he would probably never even call him a Jew. He would just
no.
Everybody would know that he is Jewish.
Bingo.
And that Jew's nickname is Jew. It's just called Jew and a Jew because it sounds great. Yeah. Yeah. Please.
Okay.
Don't, StreamYard, please don't come after us for this. I promise we don't mean anything by it. Like, you ever seen No Country for Old Men?
No, I don't watch movies.
Man, you watch some movies. There's 5 movies that's a good one that you should see. But like,
have you seen Mr. 3000?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Well, Bernie Mac, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Milwaukee Brewer. Yeah. And he did what LeBron did. He bunted so that the team could win instead of getting his 3,000th hit. Just like LeBron, instead of extending his streak, he passed it to Rui.
Yeah, because some guys care about the team more than they care about their individual accolades.
Well, LeBron's Mr. 3000.
Hey, Chandler Parsons. Up yours. But anyways, let's get back to the snitch culture shit just a tad bit and maybe get into sports, I guess.
Well, we're going to get into that. Viewers disclaimer advise, we will not be giving the Falcons more than 10 minutes of our time, including those 3 seconds where I just said something about them.
And we're going to try not to give Voldemort any time today. Like, I don't think we should even bring up our fundamental issue with the Falcons. Okay, I'm done. That's 5 seconds.
Well, they already know.
Yeah. So you want to talk about them?
Oh, you want to get to it now? I thought we were going to close out the whole.
I mean, no. I'm just saying we had that awkward silence. So I was just like,
no, I thought you said that you were like, let me close this out. But yeah, no.
Oh no, I was gonna let you close it out because I've talked a lot today.
Oh, I mean, again, like I said, just all in all, it's street culture is just that. It's whatever they say street culture is. I think it's more internet culture at this point because that's what dictates a lot of different things these days. So, which is why putting shit out on Netflix, street niggas don't fucking have Netflix because they're too busy hustling. They're too busy doing all this. They don't have the money to do it, and that's why they have to hustle because they're in these bad environments. They're not rich niggas because rich niggas aren't in street culture. So that's kind of like
you want to know what's
juxtaposed. Like,
you want to hear something so funny? Since moving back to Cartersville and interacting with people who I have not interacted with in years and interacting with, just different groups of people from different life experiences that are not similar to the life experiences of my friends from college and the military. Mm-hmm. A lot of the shit that we consume and talk about and really care about, a lot of these niggas are none the wiser. And vice versa. Like, I know about Foolio and Young and Ace because of Young Niggas and Street Beef. And that one song. I don't listen to their music. I don't like these are actually rappers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be living in totally different worlds. And the internet is not real life. It is a part of your real life. But what happens on the internet is the internet. Unless you're dealing with old niggas, because old niggas treat the internet like real life. And whatever you said on the internet, that's just like a medium of communication to old people. I'm an old person.
You're an old guy.
I mean, outside of like podcast shit, like, funny thing, last week, when I talked about when I understand angry men who come home after doing manual labor and they don't want to hear their wife complain about something stupid.
Yeah.
A guy got in the comments and say, pretty much tell me I was terrible and I should want to listen to my wife. And I'm like, clearly you don't listen, buddy, because I didn't say I don't want to listen to my wife. I said, I don't want to hear her fuss about stupid shit after I've done manual labor for 10 hours.
This is on TikTok?
Nah, I was on YouTube.
Oh.
You think I read TikTok comments?
I don't know.
I do. I read all the comments. I care what the people say who listen to us. They matter to me a lot.
Which is why we give a shout out to Sing Coy. He was here. Certainly, he's not here anymore. He was very in tune, and he gave a shout out. And then shout outs to Greg Epps as well, because he got in on it. So we appreciate it. Look, that's the way that this thing grows. In reality, if we're not responsive to those that are listening, then I'm not above any of this shit. Like, it's great to have people that are going to interact live, especially live on the show. It's one thing to comment section. Like I saw on the page when we talked about Atlanta. We had 2 comments there. I know Big Abe. Shout out to Abe. He went to high school with me, but then the other person was somebody random, and they spoke about how like season 4 was 10 out of 10 of Atlanta for the Atlanta clip. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, y'all are able to bond over that show that I should have watched and still haven't watched and probably won't ever watch.
It's a great show. I
don't disagree with it.
Seriously,
Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is a great movie. Haven't seen it.
Me neither. Not in full. I've seen pieces, but I've never seen it in full. But the point is, with that show, unlike Game of Thrones or The Sopranos or The Wire or what's another one that everybody always likes to bring up? Any of those shows are, you know, what? HBO classics that run for 5, 6, 7 seasons with 10, 12 episodes a season, Dexter, shit like that. Atlanta is a show where there's about 6 episodes a season. You got 4 seasons. The episodes range from about an hour and a half, but like they're very good. Like, and you're from Georgia and you lived in Atlanta. Like, so it's like you're basically from Atlanta, right? Like the culture of Atlanta is still in Cartersville. So it's like
it's a show that
relatable.
So I watched season 1 and 2.
Great.
I liked Atlanta. When it went away, when it went on hiatus for like 2 years.
But it's like COVID in between then too.
Yeah, and I just didn't pick it back up because then, you know, I was with Cindy, kid, we watching our own shows, and life got Atlanta. It was just bad timing. But to that, I just want to throw it out there. When you bring up some of the HBO shows, and specifically The Sopranos. The Sopranos isn't a series that you watch to finish. You watch it to watch it. Like, you don't want The Sopranos to finish. So just putting that out there. Like, you don't like
first 3 episodes of it, and that's where it buck stopped with me. Not because I wasn't interested.
That's your problem. You should give it another spin.
I like sports so much, Lee, to where a TV show's got to be like. And because it's so old, I think that's what turns me off even a little bit too. I wish maybe I was somebody that did get into it when it was fresh and like originally came out. Because like for me, it's just hard to get into something that's an early 2000. That's a Bush era show.
Yeah, but it's because it's a mob show. It's not dated. Like, clearly it's dated in the setting that it's in, but you know, like, mob culture is always past time.
They're in New Jersey, right?
Yeah. Like, we don't talk about present day active mob activity because then that would expose the mob, and that's why New York costs so much. And but let me shut up. It's because it's mob and you expect it to be later on. It still plays really well. I got into. I'm trying to think. I got into it during the summer, off season, and then I had to stop watching it because, well, after the papers get signed, I can tell why I stopped watching it.
Okay.
You know, certain scenes make certain people uneasy. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Absolutely. But to put a bow on this in general, the reason it even came up was we appreciate the comments and stuff. That stuff does mean a lot.
Hey,
It's what creates the fabric for a show that we feel like can get to a point, and I'm hopeful that one day that this clip will be played somewhere. It doesn't have to be on Jimmy Kimmel and be like, you remember you said this on an episode. That'd be pretty cool, right? But like outside
Jimmy
of that,
Kimmel won't be on TV.
no, who knows?
Well, he just got renewed for one more year.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying, but he might have something eventually. I don't know.
Look like Grayson Allen and J Dub about got into it.
They have each other's face like they're about to make out.
I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention.
So they're not that close.
Well, no, I looked down and there was just a bunch of people on the court and they were getting separated. And then I saw they were the two most hyped individuals, so it was between them. But you know, they don't give us the good replays anymore to see what happened because everybody's in bed together.
Of course. Give me literally 15 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right. So while Parlay Pete goes away and hopefully comes back, man, I got to kind of riff here. And one of the things about riffing is you're not supposed to tell people you're riffing. You're just supposed to just lock in and go. But I like to be transparent with you all. And in this moment of transparency, I'm only explaining my riffing because I have no idea which direction I want to go in. So I'm just buying myself time to come up with a complete thought that I can talk about until he comes back. So with that, we love the support, and yeah, we're trying to build something, man. And I'll tell you what we're trying to build. We're really trying to build a community, a Washington winning community, people who enjoy what we talk about, enjoy our dynamic, our friendship, people who want to get invested in the fantasy league, people who want to get invested in the stories we tell about ourselves, the narratives we paint about our friends who do show up on this podcast from time to time. We just want y'all to feel like you're on the stream with us, you know, so we're all like washed and winning together. And you know, part of the title being washed and winning is that we're excluding some people. You know, if you're losing, we're not trying to appeal to you directly. Now,
right,
we'd like to appeal to you and we'd like to get you on the winning team. You know what I mean?
if we can.
But if washed and winning turns you off, you know, that's okay. If you're a YN, y'all aren't washed. So y'all don't relate with the
winning
wash
either.
Well, no, but we're not talking to the YNs yet. We're talking about the things we want the YNs to pay attention to. But then if they pay attention to that, then they won't be YNs anymore. So we're not really talking to YNs. If that
or maybe it's their time to transform into, you know, it's like being a caterpillar and then, you know, becoming a butterfly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's their time.
Well, apparently they've given up the Nike Tech Fit and now they're wearing quarter zips. And I for one, am not a fan of the YNs wearing.
This gets back to our streets conversation. I said, it seems like to me it's an internet battle because that's what that is. That's the internet.
I haven't seen any white.
Let's go to the West End if you're free. I don't know what you're doing this weekend. I am free this weekend, Lee.
I actually planned to text you at one point today at work, but you know I can't text at work.
Let's set up
to say, hey, let's get wild this weekend. Pause. Let's do something Friday.
Football is at like a minimum. I'm talking about like there's no college on really. The Heisman thing is like this weekend, which I guess.
Hey, we got Army Navy. You better relax, buddy.
Yeah, and well, the under, right? I mean, but
hey, look here. If you go watch Army Navy with fans of those schools, it's a great experience. That's all I'm going to say.
Great experience, huh?
Yeah, the experience. Not a great game, but a great experience.
Okay.
Shout out
That's
to all my
we're on
niggas.
the same
Hey,
page.
but hold on. Shout out to my niggas who played in the Army Navy game. My friends never lost to Army. Shout out to them and roll whatever y'all say. Shout out to the midshipmen. Shout out to what roll goats. Yeah. Shout out to the tradition. Shout out to
Roll
Rick.
goats, huh?
Yeah. Shout out to Rick, Chew,
As I say,
Duval.
Dobbs.
Yeah. Duke, WAP, Jabari, Mad Dog. If I missed you, my bad. But they're my niggas. So
As I say, you got a bunch of them.
oh yeah, I'm honorary.
Honorary.
Let's talk about these unhonorary Falcons. I know that was terrible, but who gives a fuck? I'm not greeny.
Well,
Do you want me to play it?
isn't-
I don't even think we're here.
Nah, man. I think that thing, we won't hear that until next year. And that depends on what happens in the off season, if we'll even hear it next year. I mean, I already told you. I said if Zach Robinson is here, I had seen it because it popped up in my feed. If Zach Robinson is the head coach, if he's the offensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons next year, I can say you might have to find a partner, or at least we just can't talk Falcons at all, because I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing this Falcons thing anymore. Things aren't going to change, and isn't this what this ultimately comes down to, Lee? Don't we just want one of these?
Yeah, that's all we want.
Isn't that all we want? We want a Super Bowl champions hat that says that, hey, we are the champions of the world. And we can't seem to get it.
Hey, let me tell you a great story about this apparel thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the apparel goes.
I'm looking at what you just sent me. I'm sorry.
The apparel goes out early to the stores.
Yeah.
So at my other job, we had Georgia SEC championship apparel in the store
and
before
Bama.
Saturday.
Right. And Bama.
No, we didn't have Bama because
so they never expected Bama to fucking win.
No. Our store is regional. So now in Montgomery, they had the Bama shit. But we don't carry much Bama, if anything, because I went there before I worked there looking for a UT hat, and I couldn't find one.
Yeah, they were probably just like, he's like, why don't you fucking lily frog your ass on up to Knoxville then, hippie boy?
I mean, bro, it is hard to find UT gear in this state.
You should want the classic shit anyways if you're gonna wear that bullshit.
Well, I wanted just the classic orange.
Quarter zip?
I have one of those.
I know, but did you want another one?
I want a few more.
You can never have too many of anything. I mean, ask me. I've got so many hats, Lee.
I want a few more. I want a few more UT quarter zips, and I want some more Morehouse quarter zips. And I think I want to start getting into some of the vintage UT hats.
That's where I'd go. The vintage stuff.
I think I'm about to be old school snapback and straight backs guy.
Yeah. Straight backs. Like straight backs as in braids?
Yeah, straight backs, yeah.
You gonna grow your hair out that long?
I can braid my hair now if I wanted to.
Really?
I'd have respectable temp fade braids.
It's not what about the hang time? That's what matters.
I said respectable temp fade.
You said temp fade braids. That doesn't mean, what does that have to do with hang time? You're saying it wouldn't look bad. I'm saying, well, how does it go past your what would you call it? The start of your spine?
There's a reason why my hair is not braided. My hang time is respectable, but not where I want it.
Okay.
I don't once I braid my hair, it's not gonna be close. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Dog, I work with guys who have started their lock journey.
Mm-hmm.
And they started too early.
Lock journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, guys with locks.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And you know, when there's guys whose hair is as long as mine,
Mm-hmm.
and granted, you don't see my hair and know how long it is because it's always crinkled up because I got nappy hard R hair. But I'm like, hey, big dog, you should have just kept the nappy fro, bro. Like that shit looks terrible.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Falcons. I guess you watched them. I didn't. I was working.
Yeah, I watched the Falcons play. Shout out to Josh Holsey. I was more so on Red Zone anyways, because after a certain point, you just don't really watch it. But what I will say is that I did watch.
Okay.
First half, obviously it was 6-6 at the half, pretty competitive. I thought that they missed out on some opportunities to get 6 as opposed to 3. But what's new, right? They were putting pressure on Sam Darnold, and we talked about this last week, that Sam Darnold was kind of just like how Daniel Jones, which we'll get to that whole thing too, but like Daniel Jones, they kind of started reverting back to their old selves, and you could see these turnover-prone quarterbacks that you can get to that will cough it up, that will give you an incoherent type interception play. These were things that were possible in this game because of where Atlanta ranks, not just in sacks, but in pressure rate. Enter James Pierce, enter Jalen Walker. Like these were things that were possible. And that was how the whole first half played. Then you kick off the second half with, again, the thing that probably lost you the Jets game, a special teams blunder. Rashid Shaheed, former Saint, embraces the villainous role and runs one back it was the longest play of the year. So that should say enough in itself. They kick off that way. We get the ball. Kirk goes 3 and out. They get the ball. They go down the field. JSN gets in. Shouts to him. We'll get to fantasy football as well. And our
Nothing important happened
semifinals
last
this
week
week.
in fantasy.
I mean, I scored 146 points, Lee. I looked at you guys as teams. I know maybe you didn't. It didn't matter if you guys set your lines how you wanted. I would have outscored.
I had like 115.
You played well, but I would have beat
anyone. Well with no defense.
It doesn't matter who the fuck I would have played.
Oh yeah, you went crazy. I checked. Do I play you this week?
No, you got Nico.
That's
which
right.
Nico's got some tough matchup. We'll get to fan. We'll touch on that. But point being, yeah, Seattle looked like the team that they are. They're a 10-3 football team. We are what are we? We are 4-9.
I don't know. Bad.
They're a 10-3 football team. We're a 4-9 football team. We've lost 7 of our last 8. Our coach has the lowest winning percentage in the NFL of all current coaches. Hold on. I don't want to miss anything. We have a fair weather fan base to begin with, and at this point, it's actually warranted. I wouldn't be showing up and cheering for this shit either. I mean, that's why. I mean, look, I haven't made any effort to really go to a game outside of. I guess I was at week 1, but like, made no effort to go to games. And granted, I guess we got season tickets and stuff, but like I just don't even feel the need. It doesn't even matter to me. And so, yeah, it was much ado about nothing. It was normal Falcons business, if you will, at this point that they ended up putting on. And it's really unfortunate. As somebody that has cheered for this team his entire life, I don't think I've ever felt this deflated, seriously, as a fan. Because as a kid, I didn't really get to be upset
you didn't care enough. You didn't care enough.
Exactly. And I know that those are some pretty horrid years between the Super Bowl 98 season and Vic starting. And that wasn't 8 years, though. And then even it's crazy. The Vic transition to Matt Ryan was 1 year. That wasn't like that was even that long. Matt Ryan is a part of this stretch of the 8 years, but we also recognize, not just as fans, but as people that watch football, it's not his fault that the defense was always really bad, even towards the tail end. The twilight of his prime was not because Matt Ryan was losing us games. It never was him. It was that the defense is really bad coaching isn't great. He's not playing at as high of a level, but like,
and we were in cap hell with the Matt and Julio deals, and we had to do them, and they were falling off, and we did not draft well enough to plug in the holes. Yeah, again, Matt Ryan gave us so many good days that the end of his career was what it was, and we understood it. And like as a football fan, take away your Falcons fandom, right? As football fans, we understand the all-time quarterback of the franchise gets to have bad seasons at the end and probably get overpaid, and we be mad at it.
But he didn't get overpaid. He came off an MVP in a Super Bowl.
No. I mean, no. I don't mean at the day of signing. I mean
the end of the career, the end of the contract. He's gonna be overpaid.
Yeah. And so that all of that makes sense. But now we've had enough time to reconfigure. We've went into a season with Desmond Ridder as our starting quarterback. We've gone into a season with Kirk Cousins as our starting quarterback. We've gone into a season with Michael Penix as our starting quarterback. We've gone into a season with Marcus Mariota as our quarterback. Dog, we haven't been in our Falcons' life. We haven't been this bad at quarterback. We haven't been this rudderless. And we haven't had the makings of a good team and missing the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like Michael Vick, for a number one pick, underachieved for the Falcons, but given the roster, the offense, the defense, those rosters did not underachieve.
Michael Vick rosters?
Yes.
I disagree. I think that there definitely was a year or two where they did, but like
I'm saying like in totality.
He didn't have a superstar receiver or nothing, no doubt. But like
I'm saying
defensively, we had like 3-4 Pro Bowlers on the defense. Like
I'm just saying in totality, when you look at the Michael Vick years of him,
they did about what they should have did in reality.
And I'm just saying because he was a number one pick, he went to jail for 2 years, and but he was
just even prior to that, he was never a great passer, which is okay. Like I don't want people to think that this is Michael Vick hate.
He
overachieved.
Hold on. Before you start doing that part, you diving into Michael Vick is not relevant to the point.
I'm not diving into Michael Vick.
I know, but even I know where you're going, and everything you're saying
I'm
is
not
true.
going anywhere.
I'm not going to contest it, but the point is,
I'm talking about the worst eras of Falcons football. We are currently in it.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting back to. Like Michael Vick, he did what he was supposed to do given the teams that he had, right? Like we were in the playoffs-ish. We were consistently in the playoffs with Michael Vick. We were consistently in the playoffs with Matt Ryan till it got bad.
Well, we weren't consistently in the playoffs with Michael Vick. We went twice.
How many years?
In 6 years.
Yeah, consistently, bro. Once every 3
and that doesn't include his rookie year. So it would be 7 if we include that.
We're not going to include that. We were a playoff-ish team.
We were a playoff team every other year with Matt Ryan by his numbers of how long he was here and how many times.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, but like with them, we were touching the playoffs every few years.
And even in some of the years where we didn't go, like for instance, we lost to when Mike Smith got fired. That was a division championship game that we were playing for that day.
Yeah,
they had a losing record. But if they win the game, we would have went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
we were in it. When's the last time you remember the Falcons being out of 7-6 is the leader in the division right now, and we're fucking eliminated. How crazy is that? And it's the first week of December.
Yeah.
Like, is that not insane? Like I know I'm not taking crazy pills. Like
you might be taking crazy pills, but they're not showing on this point.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think that's where we leave it. It's ridiculous.
We are a bad franchise, Lee. The Jets are the only team in the NFL with the longer playoff drought than the Falcons. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. We're a bad franchise.
We're second in command. We're VPs of bad football in the NFL. We are. No, I'm serious. Look it up. No. We have one of the 10 longest streaks of the 4 North American pro sports, major sports leagues. We are in the top 10, and we're number 2 in the NFL when it comes to the streaks of not making the postseason. And this is a team that everybody can remember the last time. Maybe not we remember when we were in the playoffs last time, but we can remember the last. Everybody remembers our Super Bowl. So the idea that it's gone downhill, and that wasn't, I guess it has been that long ago, but like it doesn't feel like it for us.
We haven't been in the playoffs since I lived in San Diego, bro. I left San Diego in 2018.
And I don't know if you saw it. They put out an article on the AJC saying Arthur Blank's a bad owner.
I saw that the article existed. But hey, Parlay Pete, transition us into like the week roundup and don't get into Shedeur. I'm going to go to the little boys.
Don't get into Shedeur. That's always going to be hard to do. Pause. But
I know we're the media.
Yeah. But no, NFL was pretty interesting this past week overall. I think that one of the biggest takeaways from week 14 was, again, as you start to go by, you kind of get past like who's actually going to be a playoff contender. And I think that in this case, we got to see a couple of teams drop off. Bills-Bengals game, highly entertaining. Bengals lose, they don't have a chance. Like, I think even if they went out, it would take so much for them to get in, but they're out of it. You look at this. You look at a team like the Dolphins, a success story, a team that was supposed to be dead in water because the Falcons were supposed to beat them when they played them, but they didn't. Now they brought it out 5 of their last 6. You look at a team like the Bucs, not encouraging. They lost to the Saints. Saints aren't a good football team, guys. I mean, that's the one team the Falcons have beat their last 8 games. Bad football team. Then you look at the Steelers-Ravens. Aaron Rodgers shows a pulse. Mike Tomlin shows a pulse. They win the game. Very crucial and important game. Like, I mean, that game's going to be huge. Broncos-Raiders. The only thing to take away from that game, because it didn't mean anything outside of gambling, which I don't understand how some people watch certain football games without gambling on it. And that doesn't mean that I have a gambling problem. What it means is that there are just certain games out here that I would not understand why somebody would even do something like that. I couldn't watch a certain football game unless I did have money on it, and that was one of them. But that was the one reason why we're going to bring this up, is because in that football game, a field goal was kicked at the end, and it changed the outcome of a lot of different bets. Obviously, Bears-Packers was NFC North supremacy that was going on there. And you had that pretty much that was with that. But like at the same time, you know, a lot of ball still left to be played, but the Packers kind of take over there. Rams crushed the Cardinals. Texans pretty much in the fucking Chiefs dynasty. And I think that game was really more defining for a team like the Texans as opposed to it was an indictment on the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't good, but like at the same time, why can't the Texans start being taken a little bit more serious? Because that's another team that's constantly made the playoffs and normally wins a playoff game. And now with a year where it looks like it's going to be no Chiefs, there might not be any Ravens. The Bills are certainly more than likely going to be playing on the road the entire time. You look at a win like that by the Texans and how well that they played in general, and you say to yourself, why can't they be the team that makes that run? Because nobody fears any of these top seeds.
Says the guy who said fade the Texans a few weeks ago.
Man, because I watched them. Who was that they played?
I don't know. It was a primetime game because you know that's all I watched.
It was them at Seattle, but
you did not. How good
it cost me such a nice win, Lee. And so, but no, I said fade them because offensively, I think their offense still low key does fucking suck. I think C.J. Stroud looks a little bit better, and Nico Collins is obviously looking better. They're looking better. And look, for what it's worth, Seattle's 10-3. They are tied for the best record in the NFL. So they played one of the best teams in the NFL on the road. It just seemed like it was a lack of care of that game. But they pretty much haven't lost a game since. And so, you know, it is what it is. But I was just kind of going through that rundown in general of kind of these games that meant something. Like I said, Bills get an important win over the Bengals. It pretty much knocks the Bengals out. Dolphins continue to get hot because ever since they played us, they're hot. Saints beat the Bucs. Carolina's got a pulse. Like, Carolina can really win this division. Obviously, it'll come down to how that kind of comes down because they got to play each other twice in the next 4 weeks.
That Mike Evans injury was really big on the NFC South and really big in our fucking fantasy league out there.
What are you going to do about that? You know they activated him today.
I'm going to ponder.
Actually, let's box this in because now we can do our little fantasy segment here. What are you going to do this week? I'm just curious. I mean, I don't play you, but I'm curious as to who I think I'm going to play next week because I'm going to beat Gambles.
I'm probably going to play Mike Evans because I love him, and Justin Jefferson has been a disappointment.
So you're going to start Ibuka too?
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to not start Justin Jefferson against the Cowboys secondary.
No.
You're going to take Khalil Shakir out. You're going to start him. Are you going to start Baker as well? Because you're really putting – basically, you could decide if you want to put all your eggs in one basket on tomorrow. And you have to make that decision by tomorrow because Jay Love is playing at Denver. So that's not really a favorable matchup. Like, on the road at Denver, that's not a favorable matchup. But –
no, it's not.
But if you put Baker in and you also are going to start Mike Evans and Ibuka, I mean, you're hoping that they kind of light the Falcons up because that's 3 out of 9 slots. I mean, that's a third of your minutes and your points.
I'm going to trust my draft, but hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, as he is there, what I will say is this. We've got a very interesting fantasy football situation going on here, guys. For any of those that do care, Lee is currently – he got a first-round bye. He's the number 1 team in our league. He shouldn't be, if we're being completely honest. I actually should be the number 1 team. I normally do win this league. Well, don't let anybody else hear that. I haven't won since 2018. But we've been doing it for 10 years, and I also have the most championships. So that should tell you what you need to know. And I've also been to 3 of the last 5 championships. I've lost all of them, but I've been. 8 top 3 finishes. I win this league, is my point. I am the hunted in the league. And it's not to pat myself on my own back, but it's the truth. Anywho, he's number 1 record-wise. And so he's got Nico, who is pretty much number 1 all year. Good team. Jonathan Taylor's slowed up. Doesn't help that he's got Phillip Rivers now. And then I get Gambles. Good buddy of mine. Shout out to Gambles. We love you, Gambles. But I'm going to tap that ass this weekend. That's pretty much what's going to happen. Gambles has a good team. I feel like really me and Gambles' match this week is basically going to be our championship. That's just my opinion when it comes to the fantasy matters. And I think that it could go a lot of different ways. But I think that when it comes down to it, it's going to be kind of down to me and him. And that's why this matchup is so important. But we want to see what Lee is going to end up doing. That is my biggest thing. Is Lee going to be able to hold it together against a Nico team that is kind of battered? I mean, he might not have a T. Higgins. I was really hoping that there was an opportunity maybe that I'd be able to play Justice. But I don't, obviously –
you got been packing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Justice, his running backs didn't show up. And, look, I've played Justice 3 times in the championship since this league's been going for 10 years. So, of course, I'd love to see Justice again in the championship. It's always nice to get to that point. I mean, it's just like anything else. If any brothers face each other in an NBA Finals, like when it's our cousins, like anything, everybody would love to have that. It's a great storyline.
I mean, we could get that this year with the Thompson twins.
Exactly. That's totally possible. I don't think that it will happen because
no, me neither.
Houston's not gonna go. But my point is, why you had stepped out there just for a second was that we've got an interesting semifinals weekend coming up here.
I'm happy Matt got beat badly.
Yeah, but everybody should have known he was not going to beat me in any any circus. Like I wasn't losing to Matt.
Yeah, no, Matt doesn't belong in the playoffs.
It's a James Madison, Oregon type thing, which honestly, I think
Yep.
that's a perfect transition. Why don't we get into college football and what's wrong with what? Lee, you
College
tell.
college football, I mean, stating it nicely, is a shit show. I mean, you have this multi-billion-dollar organization that is under multiple umbrellas while competing for a national title.
Okay.
You have this very subjective way of evaluating the teams because it's so broad. There's so many teams, there's so many variables, there's no consistency in scheduling, there's no consistency in opponents, and honestly, you can't create any level of consistency in opponents without excluding a bunch of programs. And my fear is that instead of trying to unite college football under one umbrella with many different tentacles, right?
Right.
We're going to end up having the SEC versus the Big Ten becoming the AFC versus the NFC, while having all of these variables available. And I'm just going to be honest with you. There is a big difference between the Big Ten and the SEC.
Okay.
At the top, the teams are close, but dog, who's the fourth best team in the Big Ten?
Well, it was supposed to have been, it technically really would have been, Indiana probably would have been who coming preseason. Are you saying
I'm
now?
saying today.
That's probably Iowa. It's Iowa after the dust is settled. It's Iowa.
All right. What the fuck do you think Vandy does to Iowa?
Or USC? It's USC. I tell you, it's USC because they did beat Iowa.
Do you think USC beats Vandy?
Vandy's not the fourth best team, but yes.
Well, that's my point.
I think that'd be a damn good game. That should have been a bowl game.
Do you think USC beats
Washington,
Texas?
No.
That's my point. That's their fourth best team, and I didn't bring up Alabama, OU,
Texas A&M,
Miss,
Georgia,
Georgia.
The teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about our top teams.
The leftovers.
Exactly. I want to compare our leftovers to their leftovers. And we have a bigger plate.
And only because we kind of spoiled it a little bit, we talked about this in pre-production. We agree with the rankings. What's the biggest issue with this? And I don't want this cookie cutter ass. Obviously,
there's all right. So
Power Fives in, but like, what's the actual issue with the playoffs?
My biggest issue is that we're treating the playoffs like we're treating fucking social programs, or like we should treat social programs. So the playoffs, hey, we're gonna give everybody a shot, and the little guy, we're gonna give the little guy a legitimate.
Is this a DEI?
Low key, yeah.
Okay.
It's actually worse than DEI because the idea of DEI is to get qualified people an opportunity who may not socially cross over, or their skills may not translate, the expression of their skills may not translate the way others might.
Yeah.
But we're still looking for the most qualified person.
Correct.
This right here is actual like a social program. You know, like, hey, you do not qualify for this, and under a free market, you would not get this benefit. But we're going to create a control for you to get this benefit.
Right.
You know, it's crazy that we can look at a college football team, a college football program, a university, an institution, and say, hey, although you did not earn this in the field in which you were allowed to compete for this, we won't do the same for actual people when we're talking about health, life, death, food. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
insane. But to get to the bigger point is my biggest issue is the automatic bids for the power five for the rest of the the non-power four. I am okay with them getting into the tournament, but I think they should have to qualify based on their record, based on the polls, based on the data. Like those fickle Cincinnati teams, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? They dominated where they were in a 12-team
And they were
playoff, which I
undefeated.
hate.
Neither
They were undefeated.
neither of those teams are undefeated. JMU and Tulane are not undefeated. And now Tulane has to play a team that they already played. It got blown out.
And I really don't like the 12-team playoff. I really just don't like the business of college football, but the problem is I like the product that is college football because, believe it or not, the product on the field is less affected by this bullshit that we talk about because you know what football coaches do? They coach games, they try to win, and they advocate for their teams. So we sometimes less is more, and we're always going to have complaints, but the old way of doing college football was so much better. And lastly, can we please get fucking corporate finance out of college football? Like, we can't let these guys come in and just wash their money and with this sport and totally change the sport, and they don't care about the sport. Like, hey, every industry should not be ran by money. I'm all about getting your money. And if you generate this type of money, cool. But let the people who do it and love it generate the money naturally. Let's not pump money into this because we know that we can spit it out. And now, hey, we're going to overpay these players, and our calculations say, hey, the what we can get back in return is this or that, or what we don't pay in taxes, it can go to something we love. Bro, I like brown bag money. I like car dealers. You know what I'm saying? I like the people who care about the product on the field being the people pumping the money into the product, not the people who care about making money and this is a lucrative way to make money and I went to school here. I don't like none of that shit. I know I answered your question with many answers that may not have got us to one, but I'm just disgusted with the business of college football. And lastly, again, I'm really disgusted with the media pundits, the important media pundits, fucking beating to the drum of their goddamn networks, because there are people out here.
Put a name on it, Lee. Just say Joel Klatt. I mean, that's
it's not just Klatt.
I know it's not just him, but I feel like that's
Joel
exactly
Klatt,
who you're attacking.
Is Matt Berry, is Paul Feinbaum, is Stephen A. Smith, is all of these motherfuckers.
Well, who does Steve beat to? Does he beat to an SEC drum? Steve doesn't really have a dog in the fight because he's a man of many hats. He's supposed to be talking about basketball, but he talks about everything.
When we talk about people who carry their company's water and not do what they're trusted to do, because part of the reason that these guys get these seats, get these platforms, it's because the audience trusts them.
Right.
And we get, and this is life, but you get so powerful, you become corrupted because you want to maintain power. And that's exactly what the fuck we have going on. We got guys on ESPN calling to end the fucking conference championship. Hey, guess what? If you don't win the national championship and you win the conference, you had a good fucking season.
Yeah.
You still get a ring. You hit one of your goals of the season. Well, I bet Ole Miss is happy or Oregon's happy because they didn't have to go get to a slugfest and get beat.
Ooh.
Hey, some people want to play football and prove that they're the best football player, team, coach, whatever the case may be. And it's anytime, anywhere, any place. Like we've forgotten the essence of what sports is and why it's entertaining. We've just gotten too caught up on the business and the entertainment that we forgot about the sport.
Right.
And it's just gross. It's gross because it creates situations like, hey, Lane Kiffin wants to take a better job. But in order for him to take the better job and be in the best situation for that job, he has to turn his back on the team that he's currently coaching. And he gets painted as this selfish person, which maybe he is.
He's a selfish prick.
But he's not a selfish prick for taking a better job. Any other coach would do that. You name a coach who would turn down the LSU job.
Name a man.
I name you a liar.
A job that on paper is better than where they're working, and they're going to make more money. I don't know many people that would do that. If you're that loyal to a fault to any company, salute to you. But the reality is, your name better be on the wall, or that company better have made you who you are, and you give that company and
credit.
And they gave you a shot when nobody else would.
Exactly.
In Lane's case, that ain't the case because he worked for bigger programs in Ole Miss before he's going to LSU. And in my opinion, he's worked for a bigger program already. Fuck the NFL. I'm not even going to say that he's Al Davis's last hire for the Raiders. But, fuck that. USC is a bigger deal than LSU. Yeah, overall, it is. That is a bigger deal. Yeah. USC is a bigger program than LSU in football. And I just think in college football, period. They are the West Coast.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, he is the linchpin to the second half of the Saban dynasty. When Kiff got there, the offense changed, and they started airing it out more.
For Saban's dynasty, I don't know why I'm thinking you're saying he's the second branch. I'm like, no, that's Kirby, but I know you know that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. But I'm saying in Saban's actual dynasty, when Kiff got there and they changed up that offense, they started getting quarterbacks that can run and throw.
Jalen Hurts.
Blake Sims.
Was Blake Sims. Yeah.
But here's what you need to understand. Lane Kiffin was coming to Chaos High to see Blake Sims to get him to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So him reuniting with Blake and Blake winning the job, like Blake was one of Kiff's guys.
Are you saying that you saw Kiff up there in Carsville?
Me
personally, was he wearing a visor?
Me personally, no, because Blake and I weren't in class together.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't be around for those pullouts, and I wasn't in the first period football weightlifting class.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no reason to believe that my teammates would lie to me about that. Especially the specific teammate and friend who I got it from,
I was bringing it up just in a sense of, with shout outs to Carsville, by the way. I had a young lady from Carsville text me this week. Who? And it's a cousin of somebody.
Well, yeah. Once you were about to say it's not who you think it is, I initially thought
had to have
but that was my initial thought.
Yeah. So, which maybe it's a birthday weekend. We'll talk about that after the party.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But nonetheless,
well, I'm in the doghouse on that side, anyways, because apparently
we'll talk about it after. Yeah, because I don't know why you would be or what happened, but
well, yeah, I mean, not that kind of doghouse, guys. So how do we fix college football? Do we change the calendar? Do we put in some guardrails? Do we get a czar? Do we go back to the old school? What do we do?
Well, one of the first things you do is the transfer portal. All the portal and signing days has to change because that's why Lane Kiffin's not even able to finish his job and why he has to make a rush decision.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate for a guy like him, but he's getting paid plenty of money, and I think that everybody understands business, and that's what business is. People are always like, well, business is business. No, nigga, it's money is money is what it is.
100 million is 100 million, big dog.
If you're not giving me 100 million and they are, and I want the 100 million, you got to understand that I am still loyal to you guys and I want to finish this. But at the end of the day, if you're telling me I can't finish it and I can't get paid because I got to hurry up and start flipping niggas, then so be it. So be it. I mean, that is the end result of that. So
this is culturally inappropriate.
And that's one thing that has to change. So let's start there. That to me might be number one.
Hey, real quick before you go. Don't you think that that's an actual great lesson for him to teach those young men? Hey, sometimes you get put into a situation where you've got two good choices, not two bad choices, but two good choices. And the better choice is going to hurt people you care about. That's real life.
The better choice, and then in some cases, even if the choice isn't better, either way, you're going to hurt somebody. Now, maybe there's somebody that you don't have a connection with that you're hurting, but
nah, nigga, you gonna hurt yourself and your wife when you turn down the 98 million.
That's what I'm saying. One way or another, there will be a loser no matter what, and one way or another, you will be a winner one way or another. Whether that means that you're the hero of a town that you decided to stay at and that you didn't want to leave, or you leave to go to another town and then you're letting down people that you've been with around all these years. One way or another, you can't make everybody happy. That's the true lesson in it. You can't, because you can't make everybody happy. And so
if you were to leave this show to go to another show to make it,
I wouldn't do that though, Lee.
Hold on. To make a substantial amount of money, my feelings would be hurt.
They'd have to shoot at the same exact time that we shoot.
But
you would understand if I was getting paid like a lot of money.
Yeah. But even if in the contract,
if I did, like if we shot on Tuesday, I'd still do this. So
well, I'm saying even if in the contract it's like, hey, you cannot do content anywhere else unless it's under our umbrella. But they're offering you life-changing money.
Well, I'd work to get you on with me. I'd say that's got to be a part of the contract.
And what do you think Kiff is doing in the locker room? He's working to get the guys that he fucks with on with him at LSU.
Yeah, I know.
And they're like, hey, he can't, we don't want him around because he's going to be recruiting our locker room. Hey, bro, he already recruited these niggas. He has their number.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I'm sure, I know Chandler is like a 50-year senior, which I don't know what he's going to do at LSU quarterback-wise, because Nussmeier's going to the draft. I know they got the other kid that's there, but we'll see. But yes, I get where you're coming from. I pick up what you're dropping. I really do. It'll be interesting. But wait, to my main point here. Yeah. That's the first thing that I'm changing with this college football thing, because gosh, I realize we're zooming through this. Second thing is, obviously, which these are changes that have already been made. Now it is not to where this happens again. So this will be a one-off college football playoff. You're not going to see two non-power fives unless one is completely dominant. Like if they did a playoff system back in 07, 08, 09, 10, and Boise State, right, was this undefeated team with Kellen Moore. I know they had Zabransky the year they beat Oklahoma, which is another thing. This is what created that phenomenon. Zabransky beating Adrian Peterson in Oklahoma and Stoops in the Fiesta Bowl. Because the only reason that this even exists is because of games like that.
Yep.
UCF with George O'Leary. Wait. UCF with George.
It's some legal stuff like discrimination if they don't put them in there.
Discrimination. No. This stuff is UCF beating, and I'm not talking about Scott Frost undefeated beating Auburn in the Peach Bowl. I'm talking about before that. George O'Leary with Blake Bortles played in the Fiesta Bowl, and they beat Baylor with Bryce Petty. Like this is stuff that's been happening for years, where you see these underdogs. They're the largest underdog in the BCS era to ever win a game. I fact checked my fucking self today before I even said this. 16.5-point dogs. 2013, well before I was even gambling on sports. This happened, and I remember it happening because that's how Blake Bortles got taken by the Jaguars third. Right?
What were you doing in 2013?
I was attending school at Morehouse College, probably getting drunk with you maybe one of the weekends of the night. We were probably at least still around each other then. I mean, we weren't hanging out consistently, but I'm saying like there was probably a night that we were somewhere together.
Yeah,
we would go to Tommy's house.
I mean, I would go to your parties.
Well, because 2013, that would be Justice's freshman year.
Yeah.
So anytime he was.
It was a gold mouth.
Yeah, no, I know because I met Sierra over there. Yeah.
Shout out to Goldmouth. We gotta get gold.
Why do I wake up in the morning sometimes and I see
Him
his
live.
Instagram? Yeah, his live. He went live. And I'm like, why are you shooting this? And I know he's in Portland, right?
I think so.
We need a Goldmouth Tommy collab.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd be down. He used to want to pod all the time, but back when I was married, I'd be like, "Hey, nigga, I can't pod like in 10 minutes."
Like when you want, you got to kind of work on my schedule. No offense to you. I'm not saying fuck your time, but you should understand that.
You don't answer to anybody. I do.
Yeah.
And I get the answers wrong.
But the biggest thing is this, Lee. A lot of the problems have already been fixed because next year we will get a playoff that does not include what we have today. The biggest thing that we've got to do is ultimately 12 was such an odd number.
And they want more.
Even though it's an even number, it's an odd number.
8. 4 was enough.
No, just do 16.
Fuck no.
And leave it there. No, but you don't have to expand anymore. Just do 16.
No, contract. We don't need more playoff games. I want bowl games to matter. I want winning.
They're not gonna matter, Lee. But now you can bring in more. But this is what makes it so good. The Pop-Tart Bowl can be one of the games. They don't do the Beef O'Brady Bowl anymore, but
because there's no Beef O'Brady's.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. You can still incorporate the Gator Bowl, the Outback Bowl. Like these are things that can be. They're the opening round bowl games.
We don't
now.
Need,
there's going to be one team that's going to end up winning multiple bowl games.
There aren't 16 teams who can compete for a national championship.
But this year, if you include the non-Power Fives, there are Vandy, Texas, Notre Dame. That's 3 right there. And then who would be the 4th team?
I don't think
BYU.
Any of those teams. I don't think any of those teams can win a national championship.
Bullshit. Texas was ranked number 1 to start the year, Lee. You don't think
and
they got in as a 16 seed? Let's say that they played Indiana. Seriously. If they were the 16, now we know they wouldn't be, but if they were the 16 and they played, Nick, what do you think Vegas would set the spread at? Well, in a neutral site game against Indiana, you don't think Texas can beat them?
Yeah, but I don't think Indiana's
the best team. But they're not in the playoffs.
But I don't think Indiana's the best team in the country.
You don't think Notre Dame? I don't think that they would beat Georgia. But if it was 3 versus 14,
I don't think Notre Dame.
You don't think that Notre Dame could beat Georgia?
I don't think
Notre Dame last year.
No, I don't think Notre Dame can win a national championship.
I'm not talking about. I think that their team was good enough.
I'm not talking about playoff wins. I'm talking about winning a national championship. So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
When I talk about contracting it, I understand that there are teams that are good enough to try to compete, get left out. Teams that had good seasons get left out. But I don't think we've ever left out potential champions. I don't think college football has gotten the national champion wrong since they started the 4-team playoff. Honestly, under the BCS, did they really get it wrong? Probably not. I know niggas didn't like that Alabama LSU rematch in 2012. Well, 2012 season 2013, I believe, or 2011 season 2013, or 2012 when the game was played. Another thing I think they should do, Parlay Pete, is let's start the season earlier so that the national championship is played over Christmas break and the portal actually makes sense. So a player can declare for the portal, you know what I mean, at the end of the semester while still staying with their team and finish the season and still be able to enroll because they are student athletes. And I think that
But they're not going to mess with the NFL and the NBA.
Excuse me?
You said that you wanted the game to go over Christmas break, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying on Christmas Day. I'm just saying.
I know, but just during that week, all that travel, there's already a lot of travel, as is fuck sports. You add in that and fan bases over a Christmas holiday and week.
Well, look.
I get where you're coming from. I really do. Because New Year's Eve has always been their thing.
I'm okay with, I said Christmas break. If it ends, if the last
New Year's Day is a week after Christmas. So unless they're not going to play on a
Bro.
week-to-week schedule and they're going to have less days or more days, even if it's Christmas Eve or the 23rd or something, and then they get like an 8-9 day break, that would work, right? But like you have to set the games up. They have to be played. It has to work for the network. They got Christmas specials. There's so much stuff because of the TV, I think.
We can start the playoffs this week and play Army Navy on fucking Friday.
Or play it, make it the appetizer. Make that the 12 o'clock game, and then you have 3 games. You have 1 game on Friday. You have 3 games plus Army Navy. Then even I hate to do it to fucking the NFL. There ain't no entertain. There are some entertaining games this week. I don't know. They can figure it out. They already do Thursday night games anyways. Army Navy should actually be on Thursday because they didn't play last week. So,
well, no. You got to have a weekend game. Hold on. Hear me out. For the guys who are going to travel but not take time off.
For the military, you're saying? The actual service members.
The people who are going to pack the stadium, yes.
But they also like to highlight that. That's why it's a bad idea to maybe do it any time during it. Even though, there is a bowl game on Saturday night.
Well, they need to do something. I know Army Navy makes it hard because we're a patriotic country and we want to highlight this game because
why not Tuesday and Wednesday games? Make it a little action-wise.
These guys are competing for something bigger than themselves, and the only way you get this kind of rating is on a football dry weekend. But I don't know, man. They're student athletes first, and I think we need to take that student part into it first and build the schedule around these guys optimizing their lives as students, because a higher percentage of these guys need the education that they receive while they're on campus, not necessarily the education they receive while they're on the field. So let's kind of get to that. We're at 147.
I started looking at the NFL picks and stuff real quick because I was like, God, I got to.
You got a problem with Bama and Notre Dame out? Like, I know we kind of glazed over it, but we didn't really get into it. What are your real feelings? Like, should Bama have been punished for getting their ass kicked by Georgia in a conference championship game against arguably the best team in the country?
No, on paper, no. But I think from an eye test standpoint, I don't think that, because now obviously 2 of your spots are given to the non-Power 5, or now I guess 4. It's really only 4. The non-Power 4, would I say that aside from those 2 spots, was Alabama a top 10 team? No, honestly, I thought that Notre Dame was better than them, and that's just my opinion. But like,
who did Notre Dame play? Who did they beat?
They lost at Miami and A&M. They beat. I'll give you who they beat. They beat
Syracuse.
Nah, I mean, obviously that didn't.
They beat USC. They beat USC.
They beat USC. They beat. Now remember, they lost to A&M by 1 on the road.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to A&M and Miami by combined 4 points. Like,
they didn't play Michigan this year.
They could they could have easily been an undefeated team.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up because it's such a long year.
I just think that you have to give Alabama credit for the wins that they received, and also not punish.
Pittsburgh was a good team. That was a ranked team that they just beat. There's basically their last game beforehand.
Who?
That had blew out Georgia Tech.
You said Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, that's a quality team they beat up.
I mean, I'm just saying it for an ACC school. So they lost by 1 to A&M. They lost by 3 to so combined 4 points to 2 teams that are in the playoffs combined.
Yeah.
With both of them being road games. One being at Miami, the other being a neutral site. So a road game.
Where was it? What neutral site?
They played that game, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was at Notre Dame. Okay, I'm tripping. I don't know why I thought that game was played at Texas Stadium or AT&T Stadium. It wasn't. So, all right, I stand corrected. But looking at this now, I mean, they beat USC. They beat Boise State. They beat Arkansas, who I know is not a good SEC school, but like
They fired their head coach, man. Stop it.
yeah, this was before he got fired though, and they were 2-2 at the time.
Even
well, they were
worse.
2-1 going into the match, and it was on the road. It was on the road, and they won by 40 points. I'm just saying that it's an SEC school. Well, how bad did everybody else? Because Texas didn't beat the shit out of Arkansas with the fire coach. Like,
well, here's the thing, man. When you the reason we have a committee is because
they beat Navy, who's 9-2.
Okay.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying, bro. When
I'm looking at the silver lining.
We have a committee who's supposed to look at the teams in totality and not just their record.
They dominated these games too. The closest game that they had was against USC, where they beat them by 10. So they double-digited them. They didn't blow them out, but like they still won by double digits.
I wouldn't be mad if Notre Dame got in. I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying, do you think Notre Dame's a top 10 team? Yay or nay? It's okay if you don't. I think that they were a top 10 team this year.
Maybe. But I don't think our problem should be with Bama. I think we should pick more at like your Texas Techs of the world, your
no
of the world. I know they have better.
There's no team that you could pick at. That's why that they didn't get it wrong.
But who the fuck? But who did they beat? That become like again. Texas Tech beat Notre Dame. Yes, head to head does matter. But damn it, that was week 2, week 1. You know what I mean?
I thought that Georgia game was kind of ugly, and it didn't help.
Well, I'm not talking about Bama anymore. I'm just talking about I'm talking about Notre Dame. I'm talking about some of these other teams that may have better records, but I mean, shit, who did they play? I mean, Indiana, because they beat Ohio State and they beat the dog shit out of damn near everybody else, it's like, okay, this makes sense. Georgia blew the fucking Alabama game. Okay, so Georgia can't be number 1. Texas Tech lost a game they shouldn't have lost, and they're in the Big 12, so they can't be number 1. But is Texas Tech is good? Like, the Big 12 isn't a good conference. We don't respect what's coming out of the Big 12. So how good are you from beating up on lesser teams and also not taking the wear and tear into the next week?
No,
I don't give a fuck how bad Florida is. Going to the Swamp is a long day. Even if you beat the dog piss out of them, you're playing against some future pros. You're playing against really good talent. That. Come on, man.
I agree, Lee.
And here's the thing. And if Bama doesn't get in, then teams start back playing these cupcake schedules and we don't get good games. And that's bad for the TV networks.
Exactly. And so.
And bad for the fans. Shit.
Yeah. Nobody's a winner in these situations except the TV networks, because regardless, everybody is going to tune in.
Well, the TV networks always win, and that's why they run college football. You know, we got Fox running the Big Ten. We got ESPN.
You saying that Bob Iger dictates who gets in? Since they get the national championship every year?
I'm not saying that
Bob Iger. Like, think about the Super Bowl switches hands.
Do you think Klatt and Gus should get a national championship game?
Absolutely not. But like,
I don't want Klatt calling.
They get the pro guy. I hate to say it, they can get the pro guys to do it. For all
no.
I wouldn't want Brady necessarily like calling.
No, bro, I don't want pro guys calling college football
because they don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's a different experience. No, but I don't want Joel Klatt, who hates the SEC, calling games. I think Kirk Herbstreit, being an ESPN guy who has to be pro SEC while being an Ohio State alum and former quarterback and Big Ten guy at heart, I think that's a great balance. Now, when you put him next to Al on Thursday, I put the TV on mute.
Would you rather Klatt be with Al than Herbstreit?
Yeah, absolutely. I like
who would be the perfect person for, but who would be perfect for Al as a color commentator? for those out there that don't know what I'm talking. Color commentator, because Al is play-by-play.
Honestly, Chris.
Yeah, but obviously that's not an option.
I don't hate Chris like I used to because it's fucking Tirico. It's not the same. Like it's not.
But Tirico is so good. Like
yeah, Tirico's good, but he's not Al, and they don't have the same dynamic.
I assume we're gonna go over the 2-hour mark.
We don't have to because we're.
Well, my timeout was this because we didn't even talk about Michigan football.
Oh yeah, we're going over 2-hour mark.
All right, let's make it 2:10 then.
Okay.
Here, let's cut. Well, no, I do want to finish this thought. There's nobody in the college realm that could step with Michaels, in my opinion, that I would like. Kirk obviously gets it because he's the top college dude. But for color, with a guy like Al, they could have just hired Greg Olsen to kind of do it low key, because everybody loves Greg Olsen so much at Fox, and he got demoted because of Brady. Yeah, why not just put Greg with him then?
That would be good. Yeah,
but wouldn't that have just made the most sense? Like if he's that beloved, then why did you just move him to Amazon? And Jeff clearly could have did it. Like Jeff could have did it if he wanted to do it. Jeff makes a lot of people move.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not a joke with you. It's just more of a. It's like truth.
Yeah, no,
I'm not talking about. I'm saying,
bro. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Jeff can make niggas do some shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I just don't care to hear Kirk Herbstreit talk about NFL football, and
me neither, because I know that he's too busy thinking about college.
And Kirk and Al, both legends in their game. It doesn't mean it always works. You know what I mean? We saw Kobe and Dwight Howard. Didn't work.
Yeah.
And that Lou Williams shit was weak, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we won't. Let's get this. We'll give him about 2 minutes. All right, we can give him about 5.
Hey, if you're a black man, don't coach in college football in Michigan, man.
You sent the Step Brothers picture, and maybe that is kind of what that is because they were both in Michigan. I want to hear what your conspiracy is on this. Obviously, the facts of the situation are that he's fired and that he had an inappropriate relationship with the staffer. And then, obviously, while we were on air, as we got started, it came down that he got detained.
No detail.
Now, my thought was the detainment was he like not leaving quietly? Like basically he was on campus while he got fired, and then that's why he got detained. You brought up earlier that you believe that maybe it was more of a potentially a.
I don't know.
We don't know if it's that, but that maybe it was a criminal charge for why.
Well, yeah, because the city wasn't Ann Arbor. So I'm like, oh well,
I'm getting on Twitter while you talk about this so that I can see if there is any.
He's not on campus when it happens, but dog, Jason Whitlock talks about it a lot, and talking about the peanut butter skin in the big cans was never about his likelihood.
Holy shit! Hold on.
What we got?
Hold on, I'm trying to see.
Well, let me.
I'm sorry. The first thing that came up was, "Honey, get out of bed." The Sharon Moore mugshot hit the timeline, and it is a picture of him. This could be AI. It's not from a reputable source, but it's a picture. Well, I'm just curious.
I want charges. I don't give a fuck about what I know what he looked like. Anyways, point being was when Whitlock was talking about Joy's tits and skin, it wasn't about. It was more of a metaphor of, hey, there are women who we encounter in our lives who can create issues for us in our successes, and we have to be careful of that because you could have a consensual relationship with a woman that could be deemed inappropriate, and it's not affecting anything, and everybody around you knows what's going on and don't really care. But then once they're done with you, that can then be used as an excuse. And then me hearing he got detained, it's like, oh golly, did it are there allegations that say
Well,
more?
was he trying to kill himself or anything? Like, what was
Yeah.
going on? And
Or did he try to kill one of y'all for firing him?
correct,
Was some
exactly.
bullshit y'all probably already knew about, and he knew y'all knew about, and it's like, we really doing this? But hey, don't fuck the help. And not literally the help, but man, don't fuck employees for one, but honestly, be careful about dealing with coworkers because it just creates problems. And I know most Americans meet their partners at work. So I'm not telling you not to mingle at work, but just be careful and responsible about it and make sure that this relationship does not jeopardize your things outside of work unless you're willing to lose those, unless you're comfortable losing those things.
All right, so I'm on TMZ. I hate to be a messy bitch, but
I mean, they're credible.
you know what's crazy? You know what made them credible, in my opinion? The Michael Jackson thing. That was like the first thing I remember.
What did you
Everybody,
get on TMZ?
you remember when Michael Jackson died, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody? It was a summer day, like
Yeah.
09. I was headed
Yeah,
into, I think, my junior year. You were probably headed your senior.
Yeah.
Not
We
probably. You would have had to have been.
Yeah, no, we had a tournament we had a summer tournament at the school.
We were working. We were playing. We just got done playing basketball.
Yeah, and shout out to one of my homegirls who I ran into Thanksgiving weekend. But she and her sister were in a car accident that day, and I had like went home to grab something because I live close to my school, and I was in the intersection when the accident happened, and I remember having to like call my coach and say, "Hey, I'm caught up because I got to give a statement to the police," and like the guy was trying to like fight him, and so I was the only dude there, so like I had to, involve myself in some things. It didn't get crazy, but at the same time, I wasn't gonna let this man like do anything crazy to my friend. So yeah, that's a day that sticks into my head. But what are they saying about Sharon Moore?
So there's no new information in terms of why he was detained or what happened. Obviously, rumors are running wild, but basically because he was in Saline, Michigan, that's not Ann Arbor. So he was not on campus because that's not Ann Arbor. So he wasn't on campus when this happened. I don't know if he lives in Saline or not, but somebody put something up. We don't know how true it is. We'll get to find out more, obviously, as the days go by, because this is very fresh. I mean, he got fired an hour before we got on, and then while we've been sitting here now for 2, all this other stuff has happened. But basically, it could be based on, this is Twitter, and take this with a grain of salt. Somebody on Twitter is saying that basically he went over to the chick in which he, I guess, had the inappropriate relationship with and was threatening to kill himself. Now, we don't know how true that is. Obviously, I am not a news source. I am just talking about the rumors that are sitting here. I hate to sound like Marcellus Wiley, but like, let's say that something like that is true. Because I don't know where Saline, Michigan is in comparison to Ann Arbor.
Yo. Let's call this what it is. Now,
it's a hit piece on a nigga. I'm getting tired of it.
He's retained. He's been detained. He's alive. Yo, you can't do that with the side piece, man.
Oh, somebody put it up. Who it was?
I don't care who it was, and I don't think we should broadcast that.
Well, so we don't have to.
Well, you can share
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. But like, you can't fall in love with the side.
Executive assistant to football coach.
Hey. Don't even put out her
it
title.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not giving you a name. I'm not saying
no, but I don't think we should be responsible for possibly.
This might not be true. Yeah,
but even still, that's more reason why I don't think we should even spread anything about it publicly. Now, privately, we can look at it and
if it's somebody looking at the roster of who the fuck is a staffer at Michigan, is only Same thing that they did with Ime.
I got you, but I don't think we should direct people towards the deuce. We shouldn't be a part of any of that.
I understand. I understand.
Without us knowing for fact, that's all.
He is innocent until proven guilty. You want to get to these picks?
Yeah, but real quick, dog. Yo, if you get caught up with the side chick and you start losing everything, my nigga, you can't go over there and be ready to off yourself, dog. If that relationship truly runs that deep, you should probably leave your family and start a relationship there, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You want me to tell the truth and not bullshit. That's the truth.
The guy from Good Morning America did it.
Yeah, he did it right. If you're going to have a side,
like, yeah, I don't want to be with you.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a side,
like, I love this bitch.
If you're gonna have a side fling that you're willing to risk your marriage over, and I mean not like getting caught and all of that stuff. I mean, you're not
he wants to pound that ass for the rest of his life.
If you're not gonna leave that side chick, or the results of your relationship with that side chick coming to light has you on the verge of suicide, hey, big dog, go be with that side chick. You deserve that happiness. Make her your main chick. And just hope that it's not another side nigga that's fly like you that can get
it's worth more than your career.
Oh, yeah, bro. Being happy at home, having a home that feels like a home is probably the most important thing ever. And not to get personal, but I know that both of us can relate to living in a home that you pay for and not feeling like it's at home, feeling like it's your home, and that's not a great place. So don't stay in it long.
I think you should do what you want to do. That's what I feel like.
Well, yeah, do what you want to do. But if I were to give you advice, that's what I would say. Do what you want to do. And if I were you, this is what I would do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then one last thing on it. What did you just say? It's literally something. Fuck it. Let's get to the pick.
Hey, one last question. Does Steve have credibility? I know he's entertaining and rich, but does he have any credibility?
I don't know who he knows at this point anymore.
I don't know what he knows so well that I care what he says.
He's not an insider.
He's not an insider.
He's a show host.
He's black Nick Wright.
The information gets brought to him. He doesn't search it.
Nick Wright apparently has been putting 20,000 on the Chiefs money line every week.
So Fox has been putting 20,000 on it. That's where he got it from. He didn't get it from Winning Gambling. He got it from Fox.
Well, I think it makes everything make sense as to why he's such a crazy fanatic, like a crazy fan, like on the air. It's like, oh, nah.
Well, he's probably about to hang himself this week, which if anyone has any problems, please call the suicide hotlines.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Pete's NFL 6.
6. I'm glad that you did NFL knowing that goddamn well there wasn't any college. We will do a special bonus pick for the Army-Navy game, obviously, and then as the weeks go on, we'll do the college. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. All right, we'll start off with the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. We were correct on Thanksgiving Day. I believe that now, this time, I've got enough courage to fucking do it. Let's go Bengals money line. I think that they're just going to win. I don't think the Ravens are a very good football team. Bengals money line. Next, we got the Raiders at the Eagles. I like under 39.5. I think that that's a bit high. I don't think that the Raiders are really going to score. I think the Eagles are going to score a lot. They should win. I kind of like the spread, but we'll take the under. Under 39.5. Next, we got Chargers at Chiefs. Such an odd spread, and it keeps going up. So as of today, we're going to take the Chargers. That's really weird to me that the Chiefs are favored by that much. Super odd. Next, we got the Colts at the Seahawks.
Hey, where we taking the Chargers at? You froze up on me.
Chargers plus 7.5. And then we got Colts at the Seahawks. We're going to take under 42.5. Philip Rivers is back. We didn't even get to get into that as much, but we're going to take under 42.5 there. Then next, we got another under for you guys, believe it or not. We got Carolina Panthers at Saints. Under 42 is going to be the play there. And then finally, we have got the Detroit Lions at the Rams. That is the upset of the week. We are going to go Lions money line. Let's go.
All right, my pen went out on me, so I missed one of them. So I got Bengals on the money line.
Uh-huh.
I got Raiders at Eagles under 39.5.
Yep.
I've got Chargers plus 7.5.
Yep.
I've got Colts at Seattle under 42.5.
Yep.
I got Lions on the money line, and I'm missing one.
It's Carolina at New Orleans under 42.
Carolina at New Orleans under 42.
Yep.
You
There's
like
no
it?
fucking points scored there, Lee. Wait, and then one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Before you like and love it, because I didn't add the bonus, I just wanted to hurry up and get that clip in there. Because I don't like cutting that stuff. We got Army at Navy. This game means a lot, I'm sure, to you. No, it doesn't. But it is a pretty important game. That's why they highlight it every year. I know that they've done it in Annapolis. I know that they've done it. They do it in Philly. Yeah, normally. That's what I was thinking. That game is normally in Philadelphia. But as a special bonus pick here, I'm going to pick the side and also the over-under. I like Navy on the money. They're better than Army. And then I like over 38.5, believe it or not. Both of these teams throw more. So that's why I like the over.
So we got Navy on the money line and over 38.5.
Yep, those are just two bonus picks. So I guess we could call it half a double Baker's dozen.
Sure. You like it? I love it.
And when you love it, that means it's time for
Leads
three.
Leads three.
Leads three.
All right, so for Leads 3, give me that Raiders at Eagles under 39.5. I only think the Raiders get a Brock Bowers touchdown, and the Eagles have been impotent on offense. Jalen Hurts, we didn't really talk about it, had one of the worst games ever. First player in NFL history to record 2 turnovers on the same play. So I like that.
Isn't that crazy?
Not really.
I thought it was.
I mean, he has won a lot of games, but again, sometimes
2 turnovers on one play.
Oh yeah, that is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Not them losing. It was just more of like the turnovers. Yeah.
Give me the Chargers plus 7.5. I don't think the Chiefs drop 4 in a row, but I don't think they're good.
Man, I think 7.5 is steep.
Yeah. And give me that Carolina at New Orleans under 42.5 or 42, whatever it was, under. Because you know what?
Shocked you don't like any of the dog picks. Lions at Rams.
I do like them, but those unders were honestly so juicy because I don't believe in these offenses at all. That it's just like, you know what? Let's just throw some chum in the water. I like the chance of me getting a bite here.
I understand it.
But hey, Parlay Pete, that's another show. Anything you want to say as we close out?
Well, salutations, good people. I appreciate all the people that obviously tuned in. We can kind of see the numbers as they go. I don't think it's everything because I don't know if IG is counting in that, but like
IG and Facebook don't always reflect appropriate.
But from YouTube, obviously I'll give Sing Koi 5102, our Filipino brother that tuned in, and then Greg Epps, he also commented. So we appreciate all the listeners and then certainly everybody that comments. But outside of that, I think that we're good to go here.
Hey guys, thanks for listening this week. We'll be back next Wednesday. If you didn't catch the full live stream, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and more importantly, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and where you find podcasts. Washington winning. And if you want to find all content that I put out, AC Lee is culturally inappropriate. Check that out. But anyways, guys, have a great week. Hey, don't get off yet. Pause.
Okay.